So a little bit of a different one today. I'm going to go and see my client Sam. We're training out of Elite Physique, which is in Stockport. The thing with Sam is he's got great potential. We're actually the same height. He's a first timer. He's just signed up for his first PCA show in March. So we need to nail his posing. He's brand new to posing, so we're starting from scratch, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind doing that. You know, people of any level are obviously welcome. In fact, sometimes it's good because sometimes people have picked up bad habits over the years. But Sam is basically a blank canvas at this stage. So this should be a good one. We're going to do a session together, and then straight after we do some posing. So I'll get some good footage of that. And also I'll get a few words from the man himself. What?
Hi guys, I'm Sam.
So your first show, mate?
Yeah, 26th of March next year. First timers. Was looking at doing classic, but after some advice from the main man, looking at doing an open now, so I've booked on. See how it goes. Just need to get a bit bigger first.
Right, mate, we're done. Go and get that kit off now. So basically, just want to make sure you're not like in. Yes, exactly. Nice out there, and also you want to get the hop in the bicep beat. So you're down here, mid to heel. Side. Forwards. So what you were doing before is your hands in, hook, stand proud, your thumb in, right? But I want you to come in and go a little further back, so start. It's fucking graphic. It's hard, mate. Right, legs in, and go back further. And then arms. So hard to rotate forward, but not too much. Flare and relax. And extending my thoracic spine, so like you're doing this, See, now this lat's not flaring properly. Flaring out. Put it back so it's like this. It's taking all of the weight. There's no weight. So this is the judge's eyes. Yeah, exactly. So you want to try and show your hamstring, right? And before it was over there. Now it's there. Okay. Slide dip into it. Grab your wrist. Okay. What you're doing before is you're closing yourself off too much. Yeah. Right. Just down a bit. Push it into him. Yeah. Just do a scoop. Yeah. There. Trap down. It looks like this. Just watch me for a sec. So foot place, midway through, all of the weight is here, slight bend, grab the wrist, twist. Now,
no matter which way I'm facing?
Now whichever side you're more comfortable with. Either grab your wrist and do this. Yep, good. And then forward for the back. Good, nice. Right, that concludes the session. Shoulders and arms done, and then around the posing. So Sam is absolutely brand spanking new to posing, like never done it before at all. Took his virginity. So it's at this stage, I was very conscious to not overload it because there's 8 mandatories, there's 4 quarter turns, and the last thing I want to do is just hammer in, and it all just goes in one ear, out the other. So what's going to happen is week on week now we're doing video around the posing and check-in, and I want him practicing at least minimum twice a week. Now posing is something that, like, if you don't do it a lot, then you're literally not going to be very good, and it can be the difference between winning and coming, well, not even placing. So but anyway, I wanted to come on here. It's the first time I've ever done this, to be fair, and put you on the spot as well. I guess I just wanted to get your take on how the coaching experience has been for you. If you've been coached before, bodybuilding, anything kind of look into.
So, no, I've never been coached before. Ryan's the first coach. So, I did actually work as a PT a little bit. I kind of coached myself previously. I've noticed from having a coach, it's the ease of the process. So it takes all the thought process out of your training, out of your meal plan. So all your energy goes into the training. Notice how difficult posing is. I was nearly on my ass 3 or 4 times. It just zaps all the life out of you. I thought training was the hard bit.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think it's just overlooked by so many people. But yeah, so since you've been with me, how would you rate your progress and how would you rate development and things like that?
Never been able to get this lean before, but maintain my mass. Every time I've got lean previously, I've ended up losing a lot of muscle in the process. This is the first time I've been able to get to this lean, if not leaner than I've ever been before, but kept my mass, which obviously is a massive benefit because then you're stuck in a violent, vicious circle where you cut to lose the fat, and then when you bulk back up, you put the muscle back on, you gain the fat, and then when you cut, you lose all the muscle you've gained whilst you're bulking, so you never really change your physique. You're sort of stuck in the same point and it just fluctuates. But what I've noticed, like I say, is I've lost the fat that I've been able to lose before, but I've kept the muscle which I've not been able to keep before, and if not, even put more muscle on, which is always a benefit.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your photos, it definitely seems like you're in the best shape of your life.
Definitely.
And yeah, that's a real big focus that I've got. Like, it's like anyone can just drop calories, and I think that's what you were doing before we met. Yeah, it's just drop calories. I mean, just eating less food is not really much thought to it. Whereas the method that I try to instill, and I hope that's come across this way, is like a real emphasis on the training and a real emphasis on maintaining the muscle, just removing the body fat. But it's like, it's a process that I think is overlooked. Again, people just drop calories and up cardio and think that's going to do it. And it's like, but no, I mean, the thing is as well, I was saying to Sam earlier in this session, everyone's different, and how many calories you need and I need and someone else needs is all going to be very, very different. Sam, I believe, is going to need quite a few calories. That's the reality of the situation. Having worked with Sam now, it's been almost 6 months, 5 months I think. Anyway, I've realised that Sam's body functions on not many calories. So when it comes to prep, you're going to have to be pretty low. But it takes what it takes, and I think it's going to be an absolute pleasure to take you through the process, mate. Like, really. And that's why I've made this journey today. We FaceTimed, and we've spoken a lot, to be honest, and I see a lot of potential in Sam. He's a big guy. Like, in person, it shows more than probably even what the video would show. You're a big guy, and there's a lot of potential, and I'm buzzing to take you through the process. I'm just fat, mate. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, very pleasure, man. Awesome, man. So yesterday, that was first time meeting Sam. Lovely bloke, and really enjoyed training with him. And you know, he's brand new to posing, so it was about trying to get a few things locked in place for him to not necessarily get into bad habits. From this point, I wanted him to start on a certain level, so then he can progress on from that point. He's going to be buying some posing lessons, likely from Amy, in fact. Actually, what we're doing today, so I'm in Metcon Gym in Whitworth near Rochdale. Amy is currently posing a girl, and then she's got someone else straight after as well. I think she's got like 3 girls today. Every single week from here, Sam's going to be doing videos with his check-in. Going to be a really good thing for us to be able to see his progress. He gets leaner. It's going to be easier and easier to pose. I always find that. Posing in the off-season is definitely something that's overlooked, myself included. Like, I actually went to a posing seminar this week. I think that my posing is pretty good, but certainly it was an eye-opener. And I realized that there was loads of things that I could do better. What I found out myself doing over the years, you know, I'm trying to pose out the things that I feel are weak on me. And I'm trying to show my strengths and hide my weaknesses, obviously. But I still think there is plenty of room for improvement there. So anyway, what I thought I was going to do is someone commented on my last video, a guy called Isaac Jordan, so shout out to him. And there was 3 questions he had for me, and I thought, fuck it, why not? I'll answer in this one. So those questions are, number 1, can you critique your physique? which I'll do now. Here's a funny one that people wouldn't necessarily know about me, is I don't necessarily like my physique that much. So given the cards I was dealt, I am proud of what I've achieved with my physique, but it's definitely not my preferred kind of physique. The kind of physique that I like is one of them really bubbly, round physiques. For example, someone like Phil Heath, like to go to the absolute top, but like big full chest, big shoulders, and then the outer sweep of the tricep that like bows out here. I don't have, and that's the kind of physique that I like. So my physique is a shallow chest. I've got broad shoulders, so wide clavicle. I've got wide lats. They're fairly high inserted on my body. And my legs, the outer sweep is something that I feel like needs to come up. So for me to critique my physique, it would be like, everything needs to be bigger. But to make me more balanced, I would need thicker and deeper chest, especially on the inner upper portion of it. I would need larger triceps, larger biceps, larger outer sweep, and also larger adductors. So I think my legs could do with a bit more thickness. I think the thing is, my legs, they measure at 31, just over 31 inches in diameter, but because of my height and because of my width up top, they end up looking a little, So being 6'3", you just need to have monster tree trunks, otherwise you're gonna get, The fact of the matter is my legs probably measure larger in diameter than a lot of guys shorter than me, but they won't look bigger relative to my body. So this is one of the things that being tall is not good for. Being tall is good for basically most things in life, except for bodybuilding. Maybe being a jockey too, and maybe being an F1 driver. Okay, being tall is not always good, but I like it in everyday life, I just don't like it for bodybuilding. And the next question was, what is my training looking like? And I guess that kind of marries in with the first question, critiquing my physique. So that's what everyone should be trying to do. You know, if you're new to training and you just need to be bigger and be stronger and, you know, you just train and push-pull legs, whatever, upper, lower, or even bro split, anything can work. I think when you get further along in your training, like where I'm at now, I need to really specialize. I need to really think about what's working and what isn't. So I know that just heavy pressing, as much as it's fun, it's not strictly the best thing for me to be growing my chest, because I've identified that I have a weaker chest. So I need to prioritize more converging movements and more fly movements. So a converge is when you come inwards and you sort of adduct across your body. So when you bench press, you'll end up just pressing in front of you, when actually I probably need to converge, or basically adduction of my upper arm is what I need to do. Training is currently 2 leg sessions a week, 2 chest sessions a week, back and shoulders, less priority because they're the things that are stronger on me, and an arm day because I need to bring them up. So my training is just centered around my weak points. The structure within the session, usually 2 body parts per session. Depending on the size of the body part, the primary body part of that session, we usually get 4 to 6 exercises. And then the secondary will get 2, for example. 6 to 8 exercises, and each exercise has 2 to 3 sets. There'll be drop sets, there'll be supersets, there'll be rest pauses. Typically I'll go high rep. I'm very rarely going under, 6 reps, if ever. Like, I just find it quite risky. And over the years I've realized that I've lost months for nursing injuries. There might be little niggles in my pec, little niggle in my knee, lower back, shoulder, just little things here and there. That is my training, fairly high volume and roughly 2 body parts per session. And then lastly was, do I have any competition dates set? As of now, no, because it's not out yet. But I'm looking at going for the IFBB Pro card. Obviously being a PCA Pro, that's great, and I'm very, very proud of it. But being totally honest and transparent, it feels a little bit restrictive. And it's almost like over the years, I was always inundated with what shows I could do. You look at the show calendar and you think I could do this, 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 this. Now as a PCA Pro, think about it. All of the PCA amateur shows are out for me. FitX, as much as I love FitX, it would feel like a back step. IFBB is the only next logical step, but it just seems a bit silly to not use my PCA Pro card. So I want to try and do both. And I don't know how that's going to go, if that's going to work against me, No one really wants to talk about that, but there are certain politics involved in bodybuilding. So if I compete in the IFBB and then try and go as a PCA Pro, will PCA be annoyed at me? Or if I go in the IFBB and they know that I'm a PCA Pro, will they be like, well, fuck this guy kind of thing, I'm going to try and aim to get my IFBB Pro card. I think that'll be a nice touch. I don't know if I'm necessarily at that level yet. I think looking at the guys that are knocking on the door of Pro card level, I definitely think that I'm in the mix with them. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think in this last 6 to 7 months off season, I've certainly improved as well. So So next year, I'm looking to bring my best ever. I might even be abroad. Yeah, it's gonna be a good year for me, I think. But anyway, now I've got a few check-ins to do. I brought my laptop with me. And then I'm gonna do a chest and tricep session, and I'm gonna get a little bit of posing done afterwards. So I'll show you then, all right? In between Amy's clients, she's gonna run me through a few bits of posing. As I say, I felt like my posing was pretty good. And I guess it's okay to a degree, like, I've won shows and things like that, but there's always room for improvement, so just run through it now. It's gonna put me through my paces. They don't tell you about this. Very hairy physique at the moment. Yeah. Anyway.
Cool. Okay, relax. Okay, relax. Drag your heels into the ground. Push outwards at the knees, outwards at the hip flexors as well. Arch a little back, a little bit more. You can afford to go a little bit more because your adductors are touching nicely there. Drive outwards into the midsection. Now I need you to lift your upper. That's it. Lift and open. Make sure your hands are equal, so you're not dipping in one of your lats. Chest upwards. Now I need you to think about your delts. This one is sat much higher than this one, can you see that? So what I need you to do is replicate on this side. So yes, good. Now, you might have a little bit of a knot, you might be quite tight here. What I would advise is something like a deep tissue in this lat, so you can really flare it out and then delt so you're able to push it up and get that cap. Okay, relax. Turn to the side. To look too deep. I don't want it to look flat. I want to showcase the best part of your legs. So I want to see the quad sweep at the front, but I also want to see the hammy detail. So start with putting your feet together, facing the same way. Okay. Can you see that it looks kind of 2D? It looks flat. Yeah? So what we're going to do is we're going to place that front foot just ever so slightly in front. That's it. Now I need you to keep your hips facing this way. Do not turn them and rotate them this way because it's going to be hard to then rotate your upper body. What I need you to do is knee slightly inwards. Now, to get a little bit more detail, a bit more shape out of your hand and your glute, flex in the knee slightly. Not that much. That's it. It should be unnoticeable. But what that does is it brings out the detail here and it shows a nice shape of the hammy and the glute as well. You've got the back hammy on show there for a little bit of thickness in the lower part of the body. Now what I need you to do, keeping your hips this way, is I need you to flare your lats to the wall. That's it. Now I want to keep that connection and rotate from the thoracic part of the spine as you come around to the judges. Good. Don't dip the front part, keep that lat out, keep that, so keep that connection, keep that top line nice and tall. But drop this arm backwards, fist the hand. Can you see in the mirror? You can see this lat connection here. I want you to maintain that. Push it forward, push it forward, push it up. Good. Now I need you to scoot this arm inwards, connect the bicep to the chest here. Really push it in. We want as much connection as possible. We do not want to lose the cap of this delt. We want to see the chest. That's the point of this side pose, to showcase that bubbliness and the top line to the judges. Good. So really scoot. That's it. Rotate from here to the judges. Head to the side. Relax. Back shot. Into the front pose. I want you to really grind into the ground. But what I want you to do is I want you to push against my hands. So push, 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 push against my hands and feel that connection there. Okay? What that's going to do when you're a little bit more conditioned is you're going to pop through these hamstrings. And you've got a really good connection here in the adductors. What I want you to do firstly is push back into the hamstrings to showcase the adductors, to showcase the fullness of the glutes, the fullness of the hammies, to make them look really thick from behind. Now we are going to adjust slightly from this position to showcase a little bit more condition, but I want you to keep the lower set up like this for now. Okay? Now we want you to flare your lats and keep your head up. Good. So flare and lift backwards. That's it. Lift more, more, there. Tilt. Feel that connection there. Feel that connection. Push through, feel that connection. Good. Now, tuck under here. That's it. Good. Keep that connection
Tell you what, being put through your paces like that, it is so fucking hard, especially being my body weight. I think right now I'll probably be like 305 like during the day. So one of the hardest things about posing like this is keeping your midsection tight. Like the amount of food that I'm consuming and trying to keep it tight is like... Anyway, that concludes our session today. Thank you to this lovely lady. What do you think?
I think it's pretty good.
Today we've got a road trip. It is down to watch the PCA World Championships, where I've got my client Johnny, which I'm going to be getting some stage footage of him. We'll get a few words from him afterwards as well. This is the 7th show of the year for him. I believe it's his best yet. We've tried various different peaking protocols. This one we did less, and I believe that it's yielded a better result. Genetically, he just retains fullness like no other. You can run him flat and he still won't look flat. Conditions come through in his hamstrings and his quads like not before. He's in the same shape as he was in several years ago, but he has maybe 3 to 4 kilograms on top of it. It's been great working with Johnny, to be honest. And we were actually friends for several years before I actually started coaching him. And he's a top guy. But anyway, next time I film it, we'll be on stage.
On the line, gentlemen. Stay on the line. Thank you. Audience members, a round of applause for your classic bodybuilders. Please ensure your numbers are visible. You are still being judged. Numerical order 59.
Yes!
63, 66, 67, 292.
The judges!
The line, thank you.
Yes!
Representing Team GB, athlete 59, Johnny Goodall.
Come on, Johnny!
Yes, Johnny!
Team GB, athlete 66, Jolt. 7th place. From Team Israel, athlete 62, Matan. In 4th place, representing Team GB, athlete 59, Johnny. Team Israel. Now we have a round of applause for all competitors as they leave the stage. Well done, gentlemen.
He looks really tanned.
I look really tanned.
Yeah, it's recording, by the way.
Do I look tanned next to Johnny? Right.
Turn your medal around, Johnny.
If you fuck anything up, it doesn't matter because edit, or we just keep it in anyway. Anyway. My man, amazing performance last show of the year. 16 in the category, 4th place. Tell me your thoughts.
Fantastic showing. Best I've been so far this year, definitely. And so maybe the best I've been ever. It was the best I've been ever. Going off pictures,
so. Yeah.
Best I've been ever. The fourth out of that category, 16 international show. In all honesty, I feel like I could have done better, but at the same time, I am never unhappy. I'm totally happy with my place. It's a subjective sport. The boy who won was an absolute killer. So genuinely over the moon with my whole experience. Over the moon with you. And you too. For allowing me to get here. Healthy. And I was saying this backstage as well. It's the first time genuinely managing everything is here. So obviously we jumped to the prep late. And you've got a lot to contend with me. Doesn't help. But we've got here and I'm healthy, which is the biggest step of all. Being able to step on stage healthy, coming off and be motivated to carry on bodybuilding. That's the big thing for me.
I need to commend Johnny. His attitude's amazing. Like even with obstacles, and when he says about his health, it's like deficiencies with food. So you have to navigate around that. But it's been show after show after show, stresses with work, stresses with life in general, and he's always got a smile on his face, and he's always beaming with like positive energy. So I love that shit.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, and also I wanted to ask you as well, just your take on how the last few weeks ago, so when we're talking about peaking and things like that, and how the protocol's been.
Oh, it's quite funny now. So yeah, this is where it's a funny one. We've obviously, I jumped to the prep and I messaged Ryan and I gave him no time to really get to know my body before our first show. So, and we've been back to back with loads of preps. So 7, I think.
Yeah.
7 preps.
That's fucking mad.
7 peaks, and each one slightly different, just to try and get some data.
Correct.
That
Correct.
word.
Yeah.
Data.
That nerdy word. Yeah.
So get data, which, in all honesty, this is the first time we switched up today, should I say?
Yeah.
Yes, so this show ran no carbs, and it's worked wonders for me. There's no cloudiness, I'm sharper than I've been. I still had a pump on stage, I felt strong, I didn't pour of sweat, another thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't pour of sweat, so in all honesty, I think it was the best way, which is why I say this to say this, highly recommend Ryan, because it works.
Hey, but I tell you what though, like we went in there initially, we manipulated water, we used diuretics, we used carb loads, 2 days, 3 days, 1 day.
Dirty carbs, clean carbs.
We tried various different methods.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then the one that worked best was the most backwards one. But
And this is the thing though, like this is the thing. Don't get so set in your ways thinking it has to be a certain way. Literally just use your eyes, use your initiative. We ran Johnny in, we trial run a few different methods, and we realised that actually he looked better when he was a bit empty. So today, empty as fuck.
Small stomach, I still hold fullness.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I'm genuinely over the moon with how it's went. I'm going to say I was sceptical. I was sceptical last night and things. Still a bit paranoid, but yeah, no water manipulation, still drinking water into the show, no cutting out foods, no diuretics, which is a big thing. What I'll say is that everyone is unique, everyone's body is individual, so don't copy what Joe Blogg's done online, because it's not going to work. It may work, but there's a high chance it's not going to work for you. Everyone's unique in their own way, will have their own intolerances and deficiencies. So find what works for you, and even if it works once, it may not work again, which is something that we figured out as well. Because this is the first time I think I've done now 15 shows, right? No, probably almost 20 shows, a lot of shows, and I'm still learning. So yeah, it's a learning curve that's never going to stop. Don't just believe that because it's happened once it will work again. It's not a one shoe fits all kind of fit. Each show's different.
Yeah, there's always different scenarios leading up to the show, so that you can't replicate exact circumstances, and that's it. But anyway, mate, I'll let you go, my man. Lots of love. Yes, my man.
Buddy, thank you.